I don't have a life, and my whole YouTube catalog is proof of that. But I went on live stream fails today, and we're looking at Quin69 in a bit of a controversy, given some spicy topics involving sexual assault. I mentioned my whole take on, we can talk about hot topics. The whole Mr. Girl scenario, again, everything ties back to those videos, where you can optically try to maneuver your way into a controversial subject without necessarily blatantly saying something that's outrageous, right? So we're gonna go, let's watch these two clips and then fully delve into these takes, because why not? Here's a first clip here. I believe he's trying to explain himself and what he meant, but when he say women deserve being assaulted by having less clothing. So let's go ahead and see what he means.
See the underbutt, that's too much, okay? Because then it's like there's some sexual drive there where you're like, I mean, that's, dude, I mean, you're just asking to get sexually assaulted by some fucking
back in the day,
deranged
when I
mental
was
person.
16,
That's what I'm
I
saying.
cared about that shit like
I'm going to first delve into why what he's saying is wrong, and then try to parse out what he's saying entirely. So what he's saying is wrong is optically wrong, because I mentioned before multiple times, numerous times, you're going to approach any of these subjects that involve like people in real life time, then you have to approach it in a careful manner. Also, you have to unironically both sides and why you're trying to get to your endpoint of conclusion, right? Like, again, if you're going to describe, like, yes, women should be a lot more careful on the environments they're in, even though it's not their fault that they get into the situation that they get into and they get sexually assaulted, they should still be more careful, right? You still have to preemptively prompt that, because otherwise people who do victim blame, people who are rapists, just use his mentality, use his excuse to push everything aside, because his intent doesn't seem like he's hell-bent on blaming the women fully. He's just saying that if they wore more clothes, they'd be more protected. Now, again, the argument against that is just because you're wearing clothes doesn't prevent you from being raped. My argument against that is, well, sure, but you make that same argument about being robbed, right? If you wear your jewelry out in public, is it your fault you got robbed? No. But if you didn't wear your jewelry, you have a less likely chance of getting robbed? Yes. However, that sounds like you're victim blaming, which you're not. What you're trying to do is show that, I just said it multiple times. So the other clip here that is also giving in massive heat is this one, which I'm going to show you as well.
Okay, fully clothed, naked. And then you draw a line and there's a spectrum, okay? And this is like, okay, less likely to be raped, more likely to be raped. There's a ton of other variables and other factors, like where you are, what time it is, what area you're at, like what your body looks like, all sorts of things. But I can tell you that this is a factor, right? This is one of the variables, okay? This is one of the variables, all right? And if you're like fucking over here and like your ass is showing and your fucking titties are just your nips, it only, like, dude, more likely that some mentally deranged rapist is gonna fucking be like, ugh.
Yeah, so my point's still saying, like, I don't fully believe he's fully going rapo mode on these women, but at the same time, as the chat's saying, doubling down on his position, the way it's sounding is awful, right? Because most women do take this into account whenever they go about their daily lives, like, right? They don't treat every single man as if they're going to date. They don't treat every single man in a friendly manner. This goes back to the panel that Destiny, Mr. Girl, and Doobie were on earlier, discussing whether or not women or people individually should enact or go throughout prejudices that they hold in themselves that society pushes on people, and they should react accordingly. Like, for example, if black people are likely to commit more crime, should you be wary of black people on the streets? And the other example was, if pedophiles that's not offending want to babysit your children, should you let your pedophiles babysit your children, right? Now, both those examples are pushing out the thought process of things that are more likely to happen. You should avoid those things no matter what, to avoid any and all harm. Now, albeit that comparison is comparing black people to pedophiles, which is a no-no, but the whole comparison is that since black people commit more crimes, statistically given, obviously given massive circumstances, obviously given massive asterisks there, you're going to be more likely to avoid them, since you're going to go and think of that statistic there. But that's not how you should live life. If you live life that way, then you get this, for example, you sound like you're victim blaming, because that's what victim blamers do. So almost everything requires a bit of mix of nuance and a bit of mix of quorum, for lack of better words, when you say shit, because at the end of the day, he technically is not wrong, but he sounds horribly awful. Like he sounds pro rape the way he's in these clips for no reason, especially when he's not apologizing like that either. Because unironically, all this has to do to break this entire argument is a girl showing her story saying she got raped with clothes on. It just destroys the entire argument because he's gonna be like, well, I mean, but if he got less clothes on, you'd be raped even more. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what's gonna happen after this, but oh Jesus Christ, LSF is going up in flames. Actually, check the LSF comments one out, because LSF is a very much mixed bag. So the rape spectrum is definitely a spicy title for a caption. So we have, I think at this point you should close paint open twit longer. Yes. His VOD has already been banned in Germany. Jesus Christ. And you guys have okay, so I don't like this narrative here because that's insinuating that he's a rapist. Otherwise, what do you mean you're giving him money? Like, he's stupid. All right, that's what you're saying. He's stupid. What are you implying here? Oh, Jesus Christ. People who want to attack don't choose to. Yeah, I mean, because like technically, right? Again, I'm gonna say this one more time. His argument is not wrong in the sense of you should avoid circumstances that increase your likelihood to get in more dangerous circumstances. Like again, the robbery analogy is 1-to-1. If you walk outside with your entire paycheck on your shirt or on your suitcase, whatever, you walk around with a bundle of money versus someone who doesn't walk around with anything except his wallet, you both can still get robbed because you're in a high area of robbery, right? But which one is more likely to get robbed? Now, that being said, you still can get robbed either way, but which person is more likely to be get robbed? Which person is more likely to have ideas of people wanting to rob them? And this, that, and the third, right? That is where the discussion should be held. And this is where like controversial subject should be held in a nuanced discussion. I don't think we're that useless. Like, I mean, humans fucking suck. I don't think we're that fucking useless, right? So there's some things you can prevent to do some shit. But yeah. And my main argument is if all you have to do is just prove that, oh yeah, girls with clothes do get attacked, and then boom, argument closed. So yeah, basically LSF is just jokes. He's gonna get banned. Omega little mixed bag. Yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen after this, but Jesus Christ, dug a hole that he can't find himself out of. See ya.